My name is Aji, and today I'm bringing you the 4th episode of our brand new Road to Champion League series. In the last episode, we were able to make it to Division 6, ending the episode on 3,190 points. What this meant is that matches started to get really tough, with almost every single fight being difficult. But in today's episode, matches are about to get even sweatier, so hopefully I'll be able to cope with it. But before we get into the games, I'd once again like to apologise in advance if the gameplay audio sounds weird in this episode. I'm not sure why, but the gameplay recording has a strange tinny effect, and it even made the mic audio quiet as well. So I am sorry about that, but it shouldn't ruin the video entirely. Anyway, let's jump straight into the gameplay. So heading into the first game, I decided to land back at the Orchard. In pubs, if you land at the Orchard, you'll usually have it all to yourself. However, at this point of Arena, you'll generally be contested if you land there, which is exactly the case in Game 1. With me having a legendary Scar and plenty of shield, I knew that the chance of securing this kill was high, especially with this player not having any shield. With me winning that fight, I was hoping that I'd be able to spend the rest of the early game farming materials, as my loot was already looking amazing. However, it seems that my first fight brought the attention of another player, as I quickly get pushed. Although I don't have an awful lot of materials, I decide to build fight this player. I try to take high ground from her, but every time she's able to block me off, and when I run out of materials without realising, she's able to take full advantage of this. The player that killed me in the last game was clearly a good player, but if I'm going to reach Champion League, then I'll have to do better, as that won't be the last good player that I run into. In Game 2, I decide to land at the beach huts, hoping that it will be less busy than the Orchard was. As I don't see anyone land nearby, I decide to wait until I get some minis before I put the big shield on. However, I get shot at out of nowhere. With me now desperately weak, I need to heal up, but unsurprisingly, my opponent keeps up the pressure, with them knowing that I'm one shot away from being sent back to the lobby. Because of this, I decide to launch away. Although I've managed to get some distance between myself and my opponent, I know that she'll be right after me, so I need to heal up ASAP. I'm able to put both of my shields on before she's back on my case. She builds up towards me, but I'm able to crack a shield, and she starts to play defensively. This is perfect for me though, as it gives me the chance to finally get this medkit off. I might be looking healthy, but my material count isn't looking too hot, so I've got to play this smart. And thankfully, it seems my opponent was low on materials as well, which allows me to get the kill. Later that game, I hear the sound of players fighting in the storm nearby. Sensing that I could be about to get an easy kill, I decide to stormhold whoever wins the fight. Eventually, the victor makes his way towards the circle, but somehow they're able to protect themselves from all of my shots. But they have been in the storm for quite a while now, so I decide to push in aggressively, hoping that they're weak. But they're not going down without a fight, and as soon as they hit me for almost all of my shield, the tide begins to turn, as suddenly I'm having to play defensively. I go for a quick edit, which almost gets me killed, but I won't repeat that mistake again, will I? Wrong, and it cost me my life. What was I thinking? So the first 2 games had been a disaster, with me now actually being on less points than I started with. The first couple games, I'd not managed to pick up any placement points, so in this game, I was determined to rectify this, and hopefully make it to endgame. However, whilst trying to get to max materials, I hear the sound of an RPG heading towards me. A lengthy build battle then follows, with my opponent and I both trying to claim high ground. I'd spent a long time getting these materials, so I don't really want to be wasting all of them in just one fight, so I ramp up the aggression. And once I'm able to force my way into a box, she simply can't deal with me. Sometimes you've just gotta do it. I spend the rest of the match replenishing my materials and avoiding fights, which means that I'm finally able to reach the endgame and get some placement points. If I saw a fight like this in pubs, I'd be pushing straight in there myself, but in Arena, I've got to play more conservatively, as there's more on the line, so I only take shots from the safety of my box. However, although I'm not interested in taking the fight to other players, some other players want to bring the fight to me, and I soon find myself box fighting the player. She seemed so confident in the way she pushed me, as though she knew that she was about to kill me. And unfortunately for me, she has good reason to be confident, as she's way too quick for me to handle. In game 4, I'm able to reach the endgame for the second match in a row. I've got great loot and a good amount of materials, but crucially, I'm without any shield, meaning I've got to play this endgame as passively as possible, as I could be easily killed. However, as soon as I get tagged, and my opponent sees that I don't have any shield, they move in on me, thinking that they're going to get an easy kill. But I'm not going to go down without a fight, and I connect with one clean shot, although they do keep on pressuring me. And once my wall is taken, it all goes wrong. I hate making it all the way to the endgame and then dying without even getting any kills. Obviously, survival is the most important thing when playing a battle royale, but still, I want some kills. So when I see two players fighting nearby, I decide to get involved myself, hoping that they're both weak. Unfortunately, one of them goes down quickly, which means that the remaining player got siphoned for the kill, so they won't be as weak as before. Regardless, I still decide to fight this player. After taking a wall, I fumble the edit twice, but I'm still able to knock a shield off, which leads to her launching away from me. I'm desperate to keep applying the pressure, as I don't want her to heal up, but in hindsight, I should have played it more patiently, as she was far from a free kill. In game 6, I decide to try out a brand new landing spot, and honestly, it might just be the best solo drop in Arena. First of all, you've got a special chest, which guarantees a weapon of at least blue rarity. Plus, I'm pretty sure you always get shield with it as well. Not that it really matters, as you've got a slurp truck right next to you, which means you'll have full shield within the first 10 seconds of each match, which, as I'm sure you're all aware, it can put you at a massive advantage over other players in the early game. But not only that, there's plenty of brick near you as well as a ton of wood pallets, and if you decide to loot towards the bridge, there's at least 3 chests nearby. And what makes it even better is that it's rarely contested. Because of this, you can consistently come out of your drop with plenty of shield, good weapons, and max materials. What more could you ask for? During game 6, despite my best efforts of getting to the circle, I'm forced into an encounter with a player, as they won't leave me alone. After initially doing a lot of damage to the player, I'm eventually able to get the kill, but there is the third party nearby, and I can't afford to be fighting in the storm. Because of this, I decide to launch to the circle, even though I'd much rather keep my launch pad for the endgame. In this game, it seems like everyone had it in for me. I couldn't go a minute without a player taking a shot at me, so it's no surprise to see that I get into another fight before I can reach the circle. I might have won that fight, but at this point, it feels like I've got a bounty on my head. And when you've got multiple people spraying at you from all different angles, there's not an awful lot you can do. In the next game, I decide to land back at my new favourite spot, a decision that I'm very happy with, as it means that I can get into this early game fight feeling full of confidence, as I'm fully kitted within just a couple minutes of the match. If the circle allows it, I'll almost always head towards the orchard, so that I can use the upgrade machine. Generally, it is best to keep your materials, but if you can upgrade your shotgun from rare to epic rarity, then I'd say it's worth it, as the upgrade can make a real difference. And with Arena having an increased farming rate, it means you can get back to max materials in no time at all, which will send you into the endgame in a really good position. I'm able to reach the final 5, and at this point, I'm driven, focused, and determined to get to the circle. Absolutely nothing is going to get in my way. Well, other than this tree, which ends up being a real nuisance, as it causes me to take a ton of storm damage. And if I'm being completely honest, that really threw me off, meaning I went from feeling calm and confident to stressed and panicky, which explains why I missed so many damn shots. Despite me momentarily losing my head there, I was able to rein it in and make the smart decision to go for height. Well, it would have been smart if I'd not run out of materials, which ends up costing me the game. Ever since I started playing Fortnite, I've enjoyed watching good players, especially when they play scrims. However, watching scrims is a completely different experience to playing it. You've got to make fast decisions, and if you make the wrong ones, then you'll most likely be punished for it. It's what makes it exciting, but it's also what makes it difficult. So although I might not always play endgame so great, getting more practice of these high pressure situations was really good for me. And by the end of the series, I was hoping to see that I've improved as a player. Although something that will never change is me dying to fall damage. In our penultimate game, I head towards my drop spot, hoping to get some more of that awesome loot, until I see that I've been beaten to my drop. How rude. The circle ends up dragging me all the way down to the south of the map, yet I don't run into a single player. It's not until I'm near the henchman's lair, near Misty, that I see someone. But honestly, I hate fighting around the henchmen, so I quickly get out of there. On that occasion, I chose to avoid the fight, but the next time I see a player, it's a completely different story. I should have just run away again. So heading into the final game, I knew that I'd need a huge match if I wanted to reach Division 7, as I needed just under 500 points to reach it. Realistically, that wasn't going to happen, but I was still hoping to end on a win regardless. When the bus path is going over my new drop early on, I tend to avoid it, as it can be contested. This is why I decided to land at the beach huts, as I figured I'd be able to have a calmer early game and avoid a quick death. However, I'm not the only one who decides to land there, as multiple players have decided to join me. I'm able to kill one of them with little hassle, but I'm pushed instantly after. I decide to play it patiently, keeping on the high ground, but I end up getting knocked down by another player. I need to finish this fight quickly, as I need the siphon, but as soon as I get the kill, this new player is instantly on me, leading to a really awkward fight. So that's the end of the 10 games. We started the episode in Division 6 with just over 3,100 points, and we've ended the episode still in Division 6, but with 3,560 points. Similar to last week's episode, these 10 games were not easy at all. Every single fight was tough. I can't remember a single player that wasn't at least decent at the game. So to end the episode with more points than I started with, I can't be too disappointed. However, it's clear that I have started to plateau. Points are getting a lot harder to get, and if I'm going to reach Champion League, then I'll need to get 6,000 points, which could take a long time if I carry on like this. So in next week's episode, we're going to be ramping up our attempt to reach Champion League, and I'm excited to tell you more about what will be happening. So, what do you think is the best solo spot to land at? And do you think you have what it takes to reach Champion League? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you want to support me as a content creator, then feel free to use my creator code, which is on the screen now. So anytime you buy something in the item shop and use my code, it will go directly towards supporting the channel, which would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe for more. And I'll see you next time for another video. Goodbye.